What is the biggest misconception about achieving net zero emissions that needs to be addressed?
I think the biggest myth uh, about achieving net zero targets is that it is unachievable. I think a common perception is it's something so far away. Like India has a target of 2070, which is still about 45 years away. It's so far away. Can we have a strategy for that longer period? And do we have a system to also monitor year by year as to whether we are achieving our targets? So that misconception certainly is there because the targets are too far away. But I don't think it is such a task that cannot be achieved. And if we go granulate it into smaller bits, whether it's MSME or a large industry or a city or a village or a district, if we are going to focus granularly on smaller geographical locations, it'll become a very simple exercise. We started helping Bihar develop their 2070 net zero strategy. Bihar is not an industrial state. In fact, it was the first state that went ahead to formulate a net zero strategy much before India announced their 2070 target at Paris. We were not very sure as to what approaches we will take to help country develop, help a state to develop a strategy for net zero. But we learned as we went along, and it took us 2 years to draft that strategy. And one thing that became very clear, if we are joining hands with partners, if we are joining hands with experts, if we are joining hands with the community, we in fact visited each and every district of Bihar. I think the solutions start coming up from the bottom. And it took us 2 years to develop a strategy. Very first time a strategy for 2070 was built. And we realized that there were many problems in developing a strategy like that because there are many extraneous factors that need to be taken into account that are not in the control of Bihar state. But we were able to have a strategy which was supported by the state, by the chief minister, and it became very clear that if we have adequate financial resources, if we have the technologies, we would be able to have this strategy implemented. So I think this misconception of not being able to have a net zero strategy is certainly a misconception.
A few words about Team Marksman and your experience at the event.
I have full praise for Team Marksman, meaning I've attended many climate conferences all over the world in the last 25, 30 years. But this was certainly a very unique experience for me, not only because of the level of conversations that were held during this one day, but also the content was so rich. I must congratulate the team. They've done a brilliant job.